Most people believe the greatest risk in life is failure. It isn't. The greatest risk is reaching the end of your life with the painful realization that you had enough time, but you wasted it. You had enough opportunities, but you ignored them. You earned enough money, but you never gave it a purpose. One day, you will look back at the life you're living today. The question is not whether you'll become older. You will. The question is whether the person looking back will thank you or quietly wish you had started sooner. Because wealth is not built in a single moment. It is built in thousands of moments that seem too small to matter. And that is exactly why so many people never build it. They spend years waiting for a better job, a bigger salary, a perfect investment, a better economy, the right opportunity. But wealth has never belonged to the people who waited. It has always belonged to the people who moved before they felt ready. Think about a tree. The best time to plant it was years ago. The second best time is today. Money follows the same law. Every year you delay planting the seeds of wealth, you shorten the time those seeds have to grow. And time is the one currency that no billionaire, no entrepreneur, no investor, and no government has ever been able to buy back. The most expensive decision is often the one that feels free, waiting. Imagine two people beginning their adult lives. Neither is rich, neither has special connections, neither wins the lottery. One spends every dollar trying to look successful. The other spends every dollar trying to become successful. At first, their lives look almost identical. They drive similar cars, they wear similar clothes, they earn similar salaries. Friends can't tell the difference. But 10 years later, one owns assets that quietly work while they sleep. The other owns memories of purchases that no longer exist. The difference wasn't income, the difference was direction. Because money always follows the direction of your decisions. Every financial choice is a vote for the person you are becoming. The tragedy is that most people never realize they're voting. They believe wealth is created by dramatic breakthroughs, a business that suddenly explodes, a stock that multiplies overnight, a lucky opportunity. Those stories make headlines, but they don't build most fortunes. The wealthiest habits are usually invisible. Reading when nobody is watching, learning when nobody is applauding, saving when everyone else is spending, investing when everyone else is hesitating, improving when everyone else is complaining. The world celebrates the harvest. It rarely notices the planting season. That is why discipline feels lonely. It asks you to believe in a future that doesn't exist yet. It asks you to sacrifice comforts that everyone else enjoys today, so you can experience freedoms they may never know tomorrow. That kind of thinking is difficult. Not because it's complicated, because it demands patience in a world addicted to immediacy. Everywhere you look, someone is promising faster success, instant profits, instant fame, instant wealth, instant gratification. The message is always the same. Why wait? But nature has never rushed. The tallest trees grew one season at a time. The strongest mountains were shaped over centuries. Even diamonds require unimaginable pressure before they reveal their value. Yet somehow we've convinced ourselves that a meaningful financial life should happen overnight.
It doesn't. Real wealth grows quietly. Sometimes so quietly that it feels like nothing is happening at all. What grows slowly often lasts the longest. There is an invisible prison that traps millions of people. Its walls aren't made of concrete. They're made of habits. Small habits, harmless habits, comfortable habits. The daily coffee that isn't really about coffee. The shopping that isn't really about needing something. The subscription that no longer serves a purpose. The expensive lifestyle maintained only to impress people who are too busy chasing their own lives to notice yours. None of these choices seem dangerous on their own, but neither does a single drop of water, until it becomes an ocean. We often imagine financial ruin as one catastrophic event. In reality, it usually arrives disguised as ordinary decisions repeated thousands of times. The same is true of financial freedom. It isn't created by one brilliant investment. It's built by ordinary decisions repeated with extraordinary consistency. This is where most people misunderstand discipline. They think discipline is punishment. It isn't. Discipline is protection. It protects your future from the impulses of your present. Every time you say no to something unnecessary, you are saying yes to something invisible. Freedom, options, peace, time, opportunity. Those rewards don't arrive immediately. That's why most people quit before they ever experience them. They mistake silence for failure. But silence is often where compound growth is happening. You don't hear a tree growing. You don't hear investments compounding. You don't hear wisdom accumulating. Yet all three become impossible to ignore if given enough time. The world has conditioned us to celebrate visible progress. A promotion, a new house, a luxury watch, a bigger paycheck. But some of the greatest victories leave no evidence at first. No applause, no headlines, no recognition. Just quiet progress. And quiet progress is still progress. The strongest foundations are built where no one is looking. There comes a moment in every person's life when they stop asking, "How can I make more money?" and begin asking a far more powerful question. Who must I become to create wealth that lasts? That question changes everything, because wealth is never just about numbers. It is about identity. Money doesn't amplify who you wish you were. It amplifies who you already are. If you're careless with $100, you'll likely be careless with 100,000. If you avoid learning today, you'll avoid learning tomorrow, regardless of your income. The size of your bank account can change overnight. The size of your character cannot. It grows the same way wealth grows, one decision at a time, one habit at a time, one promise kept at a time. Every morning offers you a choice. Remain the person waiting for the perfect moment, or become the person who creates it. Because the future does not reward those who merely hope. It rewards those who prepare. And preparation always begins long before opportunity arrives. There is a moment that separates people who spend their lives chasing money from those who eventually build lasting wealth. It is almost invisible. No celebration marks it. No one applauds. No headline announces it. It happens quietly, in the privacy of a decision. The day you stop asking, "How much can I earn?" and start asking, "What can I own?" That question changes the trajectory of your entire life. Because income can stop, ownership continues. A paycheck rewards your effort. An asset rewards your patience. There is nothing wrong with working for money. We all begin there. But there is danger in staying there forever. If every dollar you earn disappears as quickly as it arrives, then your future depends entirely on your ability to keep working. And life has a way of reminding us that nothing is guaranteed. Health changes, industries change, technology changes, economies change. The people who sleep peacefully are not always the people with the highest salaries. They are often the people whose money has learned to work without them. The goal is not to work for money forever. The goal is to make money work for your freedom. Imagine standing at the edge of two roads. The first road is crowded. Everyone is running. Everyone is busy. Everyone is exhausted. The strange thing is that very few people on that road know where they're going. They simply keep moving because everyone else is moving. The second road is quieter. There are fewer people. Progress feels slower. Results seem invisible for a long time. But every step taken on that road creates something the first road never can. Ownership, skills, equity, investments, businesses, ideas, relationships, a reputation. Roads that continue producing value long after the work has been done. The difference isn't effort. Both roads require effort. The difference is where the effort is invested. One spends energy surviving. The other spends energy building.
And whatever you build today has the power to protect you tomorrow. That is why wealthy thinking is fundamentally different. Most people ask, "What can I afford?" Builders ask, "What will this become?" Every dollar carries a question. Will you consume me, or will you multiply me? Money listens to your answer. It follows your habits more faithfully than it follows your intentions. Because intentions make promises, habits keep them. Anchor line: every dollar is a worker. Give it a job, or it will quietly leave yours. There is another truth few people like to hear. Opportunity has an expiration date. Not because opportunities disappear forever, but because time changes who you are able to become. A 25-year-old investor has something a 55-year-old billionaire cannot buy: time. Every year you delay learning, every year you postpone investing, every year you convince yourself that next year will be different, you are paying with the only resource that never returns. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water. Every day someone quietly drills another tiny hole in the bottom. You don't notice at first. The bucket still fills, but eventually the leaks become impossible to ignore. Time works the same way. Ignore it long enough and you wake up wondering where decades went. Many people think they have plenty of time, until suddenly, their children are grown, their parents have aged, their bodies move differently, their dreams begin sounding more like regrets than plans. Don't wait for life to remind you that time matters. Treat today as if your future is already watching, because it is. Anchor line: time is always investing. The only question is whether it's investing in your future or your excuses. There is a story hidden inside every great fortune. Not a story about luck, a story about consistency. Someone kept reading, someone kept learning, someone kept saving, someone kept investing, someone kept showing up when results were invisible. Compounding is one of the quietest miracles in the world. It rarely announces itself. For years, the progress appears almost disappointing. Then something remarkable happens. The small becomes significant. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. The impossible begins to look inevitable. This is true in money. It is also true in character.
Confidence compounds, knowledge compounds, discipline compounds, trust compounds, your reputation compounds, the promises you keep to yourself compound. Never underestimate what repeated excellence can become. People often admire success without respecting the years of invisible preparation that created it. They see the tree, they never saw the seed. They celebrate the harvest, they overlook the countless mornings someone chose purpose over comfort. You don't become wealthy because of one perfect decision. You become wealthy because you stop making the same expensive mistakes. One less impulse purchase, one more book, one more investment, one more skill, one more difficult conversation, one more disciplined warning. Small choices, extraordinary destinations. Anchorline, great fortunes are usually built in days that looked completely ordinary. There is something even more valuable than wealth, the person capable of creating it. Imagine losing everything tomorrow. No savings, no business, no investments, nothing.
Would you know how to begin again? If the answer is yes, you possess something that can never be taken from you. Your mindset, your discipline, your ability, your wisdom. That is real wealth. Because money is a result. Character is the source. Protect the source and the results can always return. Too many people spend years chasing outcomes while neglecting the person responsible for creating them. Become more valuable than your circumstances. Learn beyond your job description. Think beyond your current income. Dream beyond your current environment. Grow until opportunities begin recognizing you. Your greatest investment has never been a stock, or a business, or real estate. It has always been the person staring back at you in the mirror. That investment pays dividends for the rest of your life. When you build yourself, wealth has a stronger foundation on which to stand. One day, someone will inherit the consequences of the life you are living today. Maybe your children, maybe your community, maybe someone who has never met you but benefits from the business you build, the opportunities you create, or the example you leave behind. Legacy is not measured only by what you leave behind. It is measured by what continues because you lived. Money can create comfort. Character creates generations. Wealth can buy houses. Wisdom builds homes. Success can attract attention. Purpose earns respect. Never build a life that looks rich from the outside but feels empty on the inside. Build a life that creates peace when no one is watching. Build a life where your future self smiles because you chose discipline instead of distraction. Build a life where your family inherits more than possessions. Let them inherit your values, your courage, your resilience, your example. Years from now, people may forget the salary you earned. They may never remember the car you drove. The titles will fade, the applause will end. But they will remember how you lived. They will remember the opportunities you created. They will remember the standard you refused to lower. So begin today, not when the economy improves, not when you receive a raise, not when everything feels certain. Today, plant the seed, read the book, open the investment account, learn the skill, start the business, reduce the debt, make the call, take the first step. Because every extraordinary future was once hidden inside an ordinary decision. And perhaps years from now, when people ask how you built the life they admire, you won't tell them about one lucky break. You'll tell them about the day you stopped waiting, the day you stopped chasing wealth, and started becoming the kind of person who could create it. Build wealth before it's too late, not because money is everything, but because time is the one investment you can never replenish. The future belongs to those who start before they feel ready.